Have you ever said or used the excuse that he's my soulmate? I have too. And today I want to talk to you about how this is very dangerous. I know spirituality is very important. It's something that I practice in my everyday life as well. But I really think like if we we keep using excuses to justify our reasons for staying in a toxic relationship, it could be actually very damaging to us. And that's not what spirituality is supposed to be. So um, this is where spirituality can be dangerous. So I just want to offer you a perspective. So my name is Melissa Caroline. If you don't know me, I started over on Facebook, adding content on there, decided to take this journey over to YouTube. So thank you so much for clicking on the video. I plan on sharing a lot about my healing journey, things that I've learned along the way. I don't like to use the word survivor because I like to consider myself much more than that, but I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I've dealt with a lot of that abuse into my the abuse that I've experienced as a child. I carried over some bad habits into my adult life, and I started repeating and basically basically casting people for roles to have me just relive some patterns from my childhood. And so I've done a lot of work, I've done a lot of healing, and I'm finally at a place where I'm comfortable to share my story with everyone. So the first video on this channel is going to be talking about soulmates, and we're going to talk about a lot of different spirituality things on this channel. If you have triggers around abuse and domestic violence and those sort of things, this may not be the channel for you if you're not ready to hear me talk about those kind of things. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. A lot of my videos are going to be talking about that kind of thing. So if that's a trigger for you and you're not able to listen to that type of content, please do not watch my videos. But so what I want to talk to you about today is about soulmates. So if you're anything like some of us, like me, and you've had any sort of child abuse or even abuse as an adult as well, I think we can learn some bad habits as adults as well. But if you have old wounds from abuse, or if you have CPTSD like me, or you've been conditioned to people please, or basically abandon yourself at the pleasing someone to make them happy at the expense of abandoning yourself and your boundaries, things that you value. And this was me. This is something that I learned to do as a child, because what I learned to do was kind of read the emotions in that room, or the house, and kind of align myself with those emotions. And the other thing that I learned was that anytime anything bad or violent happened, we just pretended like everything was normal, which was very damaging to me, because what I learned to do was make excuses. I learned to people please, and I learned to just blend, basically. So I used to use this as an excuse, and I didn't leave a relationship because I thought someone was my soulmate. So that's the reason why I want to talk to you about this today. So if you use this person is my soulmate excuse to continue a relationship that is not good for you, this is damaging. So you hope, and this is the trap we fall into, you hope that one day this person is going to change. That's the other aspect of this. And I feel like when we say this person is my soulmate and I don't want to leave them, and then we start thinking that we can change them or fix them. This was something that I started doing. It's another aspect of my life that I'm working on, is not only am I a people pleaser, but I'm a fixer. So I was always attracting projects, or turning people into a project. And so that's a trap you can fall into, is one day they'll change because we're meant to be together, right? Because we're soulmates, because he's my twin flame, it's so dangerous. Okay. And I'm here to tell you that just because you think they're your soulmate does not mean that that automatically makes them your life partner or the person that you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. So just because you think that someone is the other half of you does not mean that they are the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. And for me personally, I don't believe our souls are halves of, of another soul. For me, and my beliefs, I believe that we are whole, because to imply that we are somewhat like looking for this other half of ourselves implies that we're not complete. And I just refuse to accept that I'm not complete, because then that means I'll constantly be looking for something outside of myself when I think I have everything. I believe I have everything that I need already. So sometimes these people come into our lives because they're a lesson, and there's different types of relationships. There's different levels of soul connections as well. There's karmic relationships. There's people that come into your life because there's a lesson that you just haven't learned yet, and you keep attracting these people to figure it out, and you just haven't figured it out yet. And that's not to say that anybody that's abused you or caused you any harm, that is not your fault. They are hurting you. That's on them. I'm just offering you a perspective so to get out of these situations and not excuse their behavior and continue to stay there, because it was something that was really hard for me to do. And so sometimes these people come into our lives and they're just a lesson. It's just a cycle that we have to break, right? So and sometimes I think these are called karmic relationships, and the goal is to turn them into a gifting type of relationship. And sometimes we can't always do that, especially with an abuser. So do your research on that, but there is a way to get out and learn from that situation and heal from that situation. So, thinking that we have this one person and this one soul or being that we'll meet and they'll just complete us, I think is just, it's crap. I mean, in my opinion. And I don't think that you need someone to make you feel complete. Like I was saying earlier, I think you're already complete. You have everything that you need. Do not need something outside of yourself to feel like a whole entire person, or to make you happy, or to feel worthy, or any of those things. Someone has been in this type of relationship, I realize that I'm worthy. So if you really want to go down that path of looking for someone that's, the other half of you, cool. I'm not here to, downplay anyone's beliefs, but this I think will apply to regardless of how you feel about that whole situation. So as someone that was in that type of relationship where I stayed because I thought they were my soulmate, the thing that I realized is that this was not the partner that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Okay. And I realized that I could have a different type of relationship, that I deserved a different type of relationship. And that I was, and at this point, I was going through a journey of figuring out who I wanted to be and how I wanted to show up in this world. And I was starting to change. So that's another thing, aspect of this. But what I discovered was, and I'll link it down below, but it's called Rewired. It's by Dr. Joe Dispenza, I think. And then I found one of his YouTube videos, and one of the things he says is the reason why people are single, I think is what it was called. But anyways, it was basically talking, he said, if you are like to get like the person, your ideal partner, right, was to just make a list of all the qualities that you would like in this person, and then become that person. And then, I think what happens along the way is you end up realizing that you don't need anything outside of you, that you are already worthy, you are already enough, you already all these things that you're looking for outside of yourself. And then you become a magnet, and the universe just opens up and flows through you, and there's no more resistance. That's the goal. But getting out is easier said than done sometimes. And I've been in different types of relationships, so I know it's not as easy as just leave, but if it's a financial reason for staying, make a safe plan to leave. Speak with friends that you trust, friends that can help you get out. And this is also because you're going to need support once you leave as well, depending on what the situation, the dynamics of that. But don't let your pride get in the way. And I know it's not just pride. I know that when we grow up around violence and abuse, like most of us have, it's very easy to put a mask on and just to pretend like everything is okay. It's also it's also conditioned to some of us. We've been conditioned not to ask for help. You don't talk about your problems. That's an embarrassment to the family, that sort of type of thing. We don't talk about our feelings, and that, it makes you look weak and all of that. So I know that's a belief that some of us have, that asking for help, it makes us look a certain type of way. I'm here to tell you it does not make you look that way to everyone. And this is why I say, figure out a plan with friends that you trust, people that are going to have your back and be there to support you and help you get out of that situation. Okay. And don't be afraid to ask for help. I think that's the biggest thing. And I know it's hard, but please don't be afraid. And, just realize that you deserve way more than what you're getting right now. And that there is someone out there for you that will give you the things that you desire in a partner, that you do not have to settle and for this type of relationship. And you can end up with someone who knows how to communicate with you in a healthy way. And this goes for friendships too. This isn't even just relationships. This is any like partners. It's any relationship. And you deserve someone that's not going to gaslight you every time you raise your concerns, and someone that's not going to diminish you or make you feel crazy when you want to talk about your feelings, and that will actually want to listen and work things out. These people do exist, okay? And I promise they do, okay? I've met a few of them in my life, and they're rare, but they do exist. And there are healthy people out there. And I know it sucks because, I know it sucks because you thought this was it, right? This is the person you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. This is your soulmate, your twin flame. I really don't like to use that one, but you thought this was the person you were supposed to spend the rest of your life with. It's okay. It's okay that you thought that. I did too. Okay. Accept it for what it was, learn from it, and realize that we all make mistakes. Okay. And just to kind of give you permission here, there's different types of soul connections. Like I was saying earlier, I've met different types of soul connections, different types of friends, relationships. There's all different kinds. You're going to find another one that's better suited for you. Now, just take what you learned from the process. That's what I did, and use it to help you determine the type of relationship that you want. It's also going to help you notice red flags. If you can think about what happened in the early stages of the relationship and try to figure out what those red flags were, so you're better prepared next time. It's another good thing. You can also help this to use this to help you determine your boundaries, what you're willing and not willing to allow into your space. And then just realize that basically it's just data at the end of the day. Every relationship, everything that happens in our lives is an experience and a lesson. I feel like I'm always constantly learning. And when I started looking at things as a learning opportunity, what can I learn from this instead of why is this happening to me, everything changed when I started looking for the lessons and realizing that this is just data, this is just feedback, and I'm learning. Don't shame yourself. That serves no one, especially you. It serves nothing. So my takeaway for this, I guess, is just remember that just because you think someone is your soulmate does not make them your life partner. And you do not need someone outside of yourself to feel love, to feel worthy, to feel happiness, to feel peace. All of those things are already inside of you. You have everything you need for those things. and you can cultivate them and grow them into some things that are stronger. And once you get to a point and you're able to have this stronger mindset when it comes to these things, you will realize that you can be happy and joyful and love, and you're already enough. You're already all of these things. You don't need someone outside of you to validate you or make you feel important or worthy. Okay, so you're already that. You just being you is already enough. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but I hope it helps. I hope this gives you value. This is a new channel. This is the first video going up, and I would really appreciate it if you could like the video, subscribe. It's a free way to help support the channel, help it grow, and I'll leave my Facebook link down below in case anybody wants to go check me out over there. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, remember to always be kind to yourself, to others, make good choices, and I'll see you later.